Hey, good looking. You want to see what we have cooking today in my kitchen? Well, go ahead, grab a hold of that vine and swing it onto my kitchen, and let's get cooking. Good looking. Today, I'm going to sit there and show you just how easy it is to make these bad boys right up. So, swing it into my kitchen and let's get cooking. Oh, hey there, good looking. So I hear through the grapevine, you want to sit there and see the Pleasure Lady's buns. Goodness gracious, really? You want to see the Pleasure Lady's buns? Well, here, I'll show you my buns. Ta-da! Here's my buns. Now, I make all of my buns and rolls and bread. I've always done it in a bread machine. I will always continue to do it in the bread machine because that has worked for me in the last 30 years, and I'm not going to mess with anything that has been so perfected. So, with that all being said, I have my big old bread machine bread pan. I'm going to sit there and just literally put it off to the side right here. We're going to be needing 1/4 cup of warm water. Here's my bread machine and here's the water. And then we're going to be needing 1/2 cup of 100% pineapple juice. So I'm going to sit there and measure out 1/2 cup of the pineapple juice and we'll be back. Alright, I have 1/2 cup, and be sure that you mix up your can to get all that pulp and everything mixed throughout your juice. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. We're going to be adding 1/2 stick of butter, or I'm using, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera, but it's right before me. I'm trying to use up my butter powder. Let's add the butter powder. Now, let's add 2 eggs. I'm just going to move my little digi scale for a minute. Oh, I'm sorry again. I keep bumping this camera. I don't mean to, folks. 1 teaspoon vanilla. 1/2 cup of instant mashed potatoes. 1/3 cup of sugar. Now, you could either put in 1/2 cup of milk, or I'm using my powdered milk, and it would be 5 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of the dried powdered milk, 4 cups flour, 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. So, up to the bread machine. Okay, I have the bread machine down in, and I'm just going to put this over on the dough setting, and I'm going to push start. And there it is, mixing all up. I'll show you periodically throughout the way of how a bread machine mixes it up, just like a KitchenAid mixer would mix it up, but it's just done in a bread machine. There's nothing fancy dancy or anything to it. you see, like I said, it works its magic. And the bread machine just sounded off. Okay, I removed our dough from the bread machine. Here it is in the bread pan. I brought out my kitchen scale. Now we're going to have to measure out all the dough into 2-ounce segments. So I'm going to sit there and make sure I have it set on ounces. I have a dough cutter here so I can cut little pieces of dough off. But before I start anything, I'll take some of the cooking spray and I will sit there and literally spray the inside of my hands, and I will sit there and grab all the dough out of the bread machine, or bread pan, I mean, like I have here. And now take your dough slicer and we're just gonna cut off a hunk of dough like this, put it on your kitchen scale, and we're just gonna keep cutting until we get to the 2-ounce mark. I don't know if you're seeing it on the camera or not, but I'm gonna zoom in. And now we're gonna sit there and take our 2 ounces of dough and we're just gonna sit there and shape it into a nice roll, and then we're just gonna sit there and place it onto a well-greased cookie sheet. Alright, I have my cookie sheet here, and now I'm just gonna spray some no cooking spray down, and I have my dough ball here, and I'm just gonna sit there and put it on my cookie sheet. And I kind of go with my hand and I kind of squash it out because I want these to be like little slider buns. Okay, I have a full cookie sheet, and now I'm gonna let these double in size, and I have 3 more back there that I have to shape up. So in total I have 19 rolls in all. Let's go ahead and preheat our oven to 350 degrees because these babies looks like they have doubled in size, and that's what we wanted. Alright, my oven's all preheated. Now it's time for me to brown up my buns. I gotta put my bun in the oven. We're gonna bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes or until they're all lightly browned on top. Alright, my rolls are all nice and browned. Now I'm gonna sit there and very lightly give a light brushing of butter over the top. I have my brush with some softened butter, and now I'm just gonna quickly run it over the tops. And there you go. Now I'm gonna sit there and just let these cool just a tad bit on the cookie sheet here, and then I'm gonna sit there and remove them and put them onto a wire tray and allow them to cool off the rest of the way, and hopefully you'll come along for the next recipe that I do and see how I go ahead, and I'm gonna be using up these little bad boys. So now, if you liked what you saw here today, please go down below, give me a big old thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, welcome, and if not, go ahead, tap that subscribe button, tap that little bell, that way you always be notified every time I do put out a new video, and y'all come back now, you hear?